David Burrows is president of Barometer Capital Management, and he's been talking about North American large caps throughout the day, through the show rather. But today, right now, he's going to give you some ways to access international assets through the New York Stock Exchange, through the benefits of exchange-traded funds. So we're looking at Grupo Televisa. This is an American depository. It's not a receipt, it's a ADS?
Yeah, ADS, that's right.
Okay, so TV is the ticker here. What struck you about this one?
So first of all, we look for key leadership themes. One of the key leadership themes globally is media companies. Content providers in particular have been performing really well, and you can look at a whole raft of media companies that have had great years in the past year. The big concern that we have overall is finding areas of secular growth, because so many of the consumer markets are hamstrung by debt-laden consumers. Grupo Televisa is the largest media company in the Spanish-speaking world. So based in Mexico, like 60% of their revenues come from broadcasting and selling advertising. The Mexican consumer, the Mexican household, has the least amount of debt of any developed country in the world. So it's an underlevered group, and it has a very young demographic. So Grupo Televisa is seeing an acceleration in ad sales surrounding their content, cable sales, and they are a relatively new competitor in the wireless space in the in Mexico, as a competitor to American Mobile. So they're selling their content into other countries. Specifically in the last year, they've started selling their content into the U.S., and we know that the biggest growing demographic in the U.S. is the Spanish-speaking Hispanic population, 60% of them coming from Mexico. So this is a play on a positive demographic and consumer, a positive theme in the market, which is media, and we think that they have very good growth going forward over the next 3-4 years. It's a $15 billion company. And they're only paying out about 14% of their earnings in dividends.
Speaking of Mexico, iShares Mexico Index Fund, EWW. You like Mexico? The economy's healthy?
Yeah, one of the best performing markets in the world. Again, underlevered consumer. The one way to play it is through an ETF. 40% of the EWW are consumer stocks. 20% are telecom, so 60% telecom and consumer. The underlying positions are performing really well. It's a strong basket to own. We think it's a great way to get exposure to a strong relative strength market.
5-year high on that one. And LyondellBasell. This is an American depository receipt to LYB.
So we talked about taking advantage of companies that benefit from low natural gas prices. Lyondell is one of the biggest plastics and chemical companies in the world. One of their biggest input costs is natural gas. If you're getting natural gas at $3 and your competitors are having to pay $9 for it, for the same feedstock, it gives you a great opportunity. So you've got growth in demand for plastics, a housing market that's coming around. You got strong demand on one side, low costs on the other. That's a good recipe for margin, and they could pay another special dividend this year.
Okay, LyondellBasell, iShares Mexico Index Fund, and Grupo Televisa. Interesting, eclectic international mix there. We appreciate it.
Well, thanks very much.
Thank you, David Burrows, and thanks to you for all your questions. We will see you tomorrow night with Jason Donville. Take care. Bye-bye.